Hello, Indian Creek 8th grade students. This is Mr. Roush,
And Mrs. Stirk.
bringing you the fourth and final installment of our Illinois Constitution unit, where we're going to learn about...
Voting, local government, and finances.
So hopefully you have your outline in front of you, and we're ready to get started.
With voting. To start off with, we're going to talk about what form of government the United States has. You'll hear it often referred to as a democracy, that we say that we have a democracy, which is a system of government in which the power is vested in the people, where the people are in charge. But to be more accurate, the United States is actually a federal republic and a constitutional representative democracy. Let's unpack what that means. First, we're going to talk about federal republic. Those two words each mean something. Federal refers to the fact that the United States is a group of states where they do have a central government, which is in Washington, D.C., but they also have independence on their own internal affairs. The states also have their own powers and their own things that they make decisions on at the state government. Republic means a government where the supreme power is held by the people and their elected representatives. This is different from a monarchy because there is an elected or nominated president who runs the show instead of a king. We also said that the United States is a constitutional representative democracy. The first part of that is constitutional, which just means that this government is founded on a document that defines the powers and responsibilities and the workings of the different parts of our government. Representative democracy means that unlike a direct democracy, where every person who's part of the country gets to vote directly on all the laws and all of the decisions themselves, in order to make things easier, the people elect officials who represent them. And then those officials, who would be like the representatives and the senators, would vote according to what the people whom they represent want, to what their constituency wants. What is voting? That's a very important thing to know whenever we're talking about voting. That is how the citizens pick the people who make decisions for them in the government. It's that process. For the next section, we're going to talk about voting and the Constitution. Voting is a constitutional right, which means that the reason why we, the citizens, are able to choose things and to vote is because it is written into the document, the Constitution of the United States. However, in the early days of the United States, the right to vote was restricted only to white men over the age of 21. Like this guy. Look at him. He thinks he's so cool. He's like, I can vote and you can't. Ha ha ha. We'll see about that, because the voting rights that we have today have come from amendments or changes to the Constitution. The first amendment that we're going to talk about is the 15th Amendment, which granted males who were non-whites the right to vote. And it was particularly aimed at, if you remember, after the Civil War was won by the North, at giving African Americans who had just been freed rights of citizens. It says, the right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of race, color, or previous condition of servitude. However, racism prevented this amendment from really being enforced until the civil rights movement gained momentum in the 50s and 60s. The next amendment that expanded voting rights was the 19th Amendment in 1920, which granted women the right to vote. And that one says, "The right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex." The last one that we're going to talk about is the 26th Amendment, which lowered the voting age to 18. Unfortunately, this kid still can't vote because he's clearly not 18 yet. But similarly, it says that the right of citizens of the United States who are 18 years of age or older to vote shall not be denied or abridged. And now I'm going to turn it back over to you, Mr. Roush, for local government.
Thank you, Mrs. Sturt. As you should already know, Illinois is broken up into 102 counties. Indian Creek is located in DeKalb County. As of 2013, there are just under 105,000 people in DeKalb County. Most of the counties in Illinois are named after early American leaders, especially the American Revolutionary War and the War of 1812. DeKalb is named after Baron Johann DeKalb. He was a major general in the American Revolutionary War. And on the map here, we have DeKalb up here in yellow. Within the counties, there are 7 officers on the board. The first one is the sheriff. The sheriff is the law enforcement on the county level. The next officer is the clerk. The clerk is in charge of issuing licenses, registering voters, and conducting elections. The next officer is the treasurer. As you know, what a treasurer, they usually deal with money, so they send the tax bills, they collect payments, and they disperse money where it's needed. The next officer is the coroner. The coroner conducts autopsies, toxicology analysis, and investigates deaths. If there's ever a mysterious death and they want to know the reason why, the coroner would conduct an autopsy to find the reasons of death and the causes of death. There's also a recorder. The recorder records and indexes important documents that happen in the county. The next officer is the assessor. The assessor estimates the value of property in the county. This way, people are paying the appropriate tax and the appropriate money to the county. We also have an auditor. The auditor is in charge of oversight of all financial books and records in the county. All counties are divided into townships. Illinois has 1,432 townships that still function according to the Township Act of 1874. This is called grassroots government. It's the closest level of government to the people. So you have DeKalb County, and then from DeKalb County, they break it down into different townships. In DeKalb County, there are 19 different townships. The village of Waterman is part of Clinton Township, and the village of Shabana is part of Shabana Township. So if you look at the map over here on the right, it goes all the way from village of Kirkland up in Franklin Township, all the way down to Waterman is down here in Clinton Township, and Shabana is in Shabana Township. It's just a smaller government, so the whole thing is DeKalb County, and these are just small governments that govern just a small township. The 3 main jobs of township government are the construction and maintenance of rural roads, and that keeps the roads and bridges in good working order. The general assistance to the needy. It provides immediate help to those in need according to the local standards and needs with local dollars. And they also are in charge of assessing property, and that provides income through tax levies for all local government. There are also many special purpose districts in Illinois. Illinois actually has more special purpose districts than any other state in the nation. These districts provide services that counties, municipalities, and townships are unable to provide due to financial constraints. The districts are broken up into 2 classes. You have the school districts and all others. Some of the special districts include public schools, forest preserve, transit authority, library, parks, soil conservation, and water and sanitary. This is just a small sample of the special purpose districts that they have in Illinois. There are over 3,000 special purpose districts in Illinois alone. Next, we're going to talk about finance. Whenever you talk about finance, it has to do with money. Susana Mendoza is the comptroller for the state of Illinois. The comptroller is responsible for maintaining the state's fiscal accounts. If there's anything that has to do with money with the state of Illinois, Susana Mendoza will be involved. The Illinois State Treasurer is Michael Frerichs. The Treasurer is responsible for the safekeeping and investing of monies and securities. They also disperse money upon order of the comptroller. So whenever he needs to disperse money, he talks to Susana Mendoza, and he's able to disperse money. Here's just a few facts about Michael Frerichs. He's 6 foot 8 inches tall, which makes him one of the tallest legislators in Illinois history. His father was a truck driver, his mother was a university secretary. He studied Chinese in Taiwan, and he taught English in Taiwan, and his alma mater, Rantoul Township High School. Now we're going to talk about taxes. Americans spend roughly 29% of their income each year on taxes. There are 3 main types of taxes. You have income tax, property tax, and sales tax. The first kind of tax we're going to talk about is income tax. Income tax are taxes paid on personal and business income. Once you're old enough to start working, a portion of your paycheck is going to get taken out to pay for various government programs. The next tax is a property tax. Once you own a house, the value of real estate or other personal property is your property tax. This is mostly paid once a year or can be paid monthly and just taken out with the mortgage on their house. The last tax is a sales tax, and this is taxes on goods and services for states and local governments to raise revenue. So every time you go to the store and you buy something from Casey's or you go buy a new pair of shoes, you're going to be paying a sales tax. Sales tax does vary depending on what county you are in, because Cook County in Chicago has a different percentage on sales tax than DeKalb County does. So every state has a budget, and the state budget allocates or gives money to the 4 main areas. We have education, highways, public welfare, and retirement and unemployment benefits. If you look at the pie chart over here, education is 28%, the health or public welfare would be 14%, the retirement and unemployment benefits would be your pensions at 13%, and transportation is 10%. So that is 65% of the Illinois budget spent on those 4 sections. The remaining 35% is spent on various other programs. Well, that's all we have for the Illinois Constitution. Thanks for watching. This is Mr. Roush and Mrs. Stark signing off. Have a great day.